Is Siad Barre the best president who has ever ruled Somalia? Would you agree if I told you he was by far the best? Even though every president has his pros and cons, let us talk about his achievements. Episode 1 of Siad Barre's most praised initiatives was the 1974 literacy campaign, which aimed to eradicate illiteracy in Somalia. Under his leadership, Somalia adopted a standardized Somali script written in Latin character, which unified the nation linguistically and culturally. His government mobilized teachers and volunteers to travel to rural areas, dramatically increasing literacy rates from an estimated 5% to over 55% within a few years. This campaign won international recognition and demonstrated Barre's commitment to education. Under Barre's leadership, the Somali National Army became one of the most formidable military forces in Africa during the 1970s. His efforts to modernize the military were aimed at protecting Somalia's borders and achieving the dream of a greater Somalia. Barre's military advancements remain a point of pride for many Somalis. Barre promoted Somali nationalism by making Somali the official language for administration, education, and governance. This move unified a linguistically diverse country and strengthened national identity. Schools and government offices transitioned from using English, Arabic, and Italian to Somali, making public services more accessible to the general population. Siad Barre's regime introduced policies to promote women's empowerment. Women gained increased access to education, employment opportunities, and leadership roles in government. The family law reforms of 1975 were groundbreaking, granting women the right to inherit property and participate in public life. These efforts positioned Somalia as a regional leader in gender equality during the 1970s. Barre's government expanded healthcare services by building hospitals and clinics across the country. Vaccination campaigns and public health initiatives significantly reduced the prevalence of diseases like smallpox and malaria. He also invested in infrastructure projects such as roads, bridges, and schools, connecting previously isolated regions and improving transportation and education systems. During the early years of his rule, Barre implemented socialist economic policies that included nationalizing banks, industries, and large agricultural lands. While these policies had mixed long-term results, they initially created a sense of equality and ensured that resources were distributed more equitably. Efforts were made to modernize agriculture and reduce dependency on imported goods. Barre positioned Somalia as a key player on the international stage. Initially aligned with the Soviet Union, Somalia received significant military and economic support during the 1970s. His diplomatic maneuvering brought international investment into Somalia, particularly in infrastructure and military development. In the early years of Barre's rule, Somalia experienced relative peace and stability compared to the chaos of the 1960s. By promoting the slogan, "Socialism is my clan," he sought to suppress clan rivalries and unite Somalis under a common ideology. While clan tensions resurfaced later, Barre initially managed to create a strong sense of national cohesion. Barre's government encouraged Somalis living abroad to contribute to the country's development. Remittances from the diaspora became an essential part of Somalia's economy, and Barre implemented policies to facilitate their involvement in building schools, hospitals, and other public facilities. Barre's vision of uniting all Somali inhabited territories in the Horn of Africa inspired a sense of pride and solidarity among Somalis. His government supported Somali communities in Ethiopia's Ogaden region, northern Kenya, and Djibouti, fostering a pan-Somali identity that still resonates with many.